Hello everybody, how are we doing today? And welcome back to another episode of the automation campaign. In today's episode, what we're going to do is we are going to work on getting some new engines. Very important, because the engines we have are now really out of date. When did we last have a new engine? If we go back here we can see. So this engine is a 1979 engine, so I don't think we're going to be using this one because this is the second generation of this engine, so we're just going to start making a completely new one, which also shouldn't affect the cars we've already made. So if when we make the new engine, we won't have to worry about facelifting all of these straight away onto the new engine. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. But edit? What's this? I don't know, but new engine. Wait, hold on. But yeah, I think we're just gonna make a 4-cylinder. We're going to make it out of. Do we want to? Actually, let's do an aluminium block. I think it's time to make an aluminium block. So we're going to make a big. We're going to upgrade. We're going to make the size a bit bigger. I think. I think we should do at least. And our engine will be, yeah, that looks alright. Slightly more stroke than there is bore. So we're going to do dual overhead cam. Annoyingly, you can't change it between a 2 and 4 valve because that's just the game. But we're going to just do 4 valve. We might as well, honestly. Aluminium head, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a factory that can make a lot of produce aluminium engines. So, because the whole point of this is for a bit more lightness, which hopefully will help on fuel economy. So, we won't turbocharge this variant yet, but there will be a 2.2... Do we want to make a turbo out of the 2.2 litre? I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to go with a single injection EFI. And we're going to go with standard fuel. Lower the fuel mixture to make it more eco-friendly, or more economical. And then short cast, exhaust, high flow. I mean, we'll see how the power goes, and we're going to go baffled and reverse flow. So we do have a bit of knocking, which is nothing that a bit of reduction in compression can't help. That's crazy. Okay, we're already getting really good efficiency out of this engine. So the engine can rev. The engine can go up to 6,100 RPM, so we're going to take away some cam profiling. Does that actually affect? We're still knocking. Okay, that's all right. We've got a nice curve here, which I like, and yeah. So we're going to increase quality on the exhaust, like always. We're going to, yeah, that looks about right there. We're going to increase quality on the fuel, because although this engine's going to really take a long time. Well, to be fair, it's not coming straight into the new facelift, so we're going to make this a properly good engine. So let's increase cam profiling a little. It's really difficult to get a decent cam profiling without ruining fuel efficiency, so let's take away here a little bit. And yeah, what I'm going to do, because I don't want to bore you guys with this, is I'm going to, on the side in the background, I'm going to be making all the different variants of this engine. So realistically, we just want an engine for everything, so to say. So we just want an engine for every type of car we want to make with this, and then we'll probably make some smaller 3-cylinder engines for the really small cars. So yeah, I'll get to doing that. Okay, so here we are, just designing our new lineup of engines. So this is going to be a more of an upper middle class type of engine. There will also be a lower class version or a downsized version of the 4-cylinder engine. There'll also be a tiny 3-cylinder engine and a more powerful couple more powerful 5-cylinder engines, which I'm really excited to put in some cars. But yeah, no, this will hopefully bring us a long way into the life of our company. So hopefully it'll work. Alright, so here we have it. Well, I've decided to split this off into three, well, maybe even four segments, which is that this will be sort of the upper middle range, so to say. This will be like the more powerful middle range. Then we'll have a bigger engine than this for more power hungry applications, and we will have smaller variants of this for more eco-powered eco cars, and then we'll have probably a 3-cylinder for the really cheap cars. So these engines actually turned out alright. I'm just going to use the 2.2 litre naturally aspirated engine. Yeah, no, the engines actually turned out pretty decent. From I nearly got 20% fuel efficiency, which is absolutely awesome. So, but yeah, no, with 80 kilowatts of power, which is over 100 horsepower, it's not too bad. I mean, if you go with the turbo variant of this engine, there is a significant power increase of about 40 kilowatts, or about 50-60 horsepower. So it's not too bad. I'm quite happy with this engine. The other ones follow pretty much the same trend. And this one has about 72 kilowatts of power, this one about 64 or something like that, and then these ones having substantially more power than these two. But we'll see where we can use them. So we're not going to put this into a factory just yet. So total engineering time is actually 75 months. I'm actually alright with 75 months. We're going to make the engine more reliable. Oh, there we go. We're going to make sure the engine comes at around, what, 72 months? And we're just going to keep it like this, I think. So we're going to... Oh, we can obviously pay to make it faster, but there's no point because we're not actually going to stick this into a car just yet. So 92 months, that's what, 7 years? No, 96 months, so 96 months, 8 years. Yo! So just under 8 years. And this engine will be on the market, so let's actually have a look. So yeah, I mean, the engines don't have a factory just yet, so I'm just going to agree that the engine is still in the concept phase. We don't need a loan because I think we have enough money to suffice. We have enough money for the 64 million. But yeah, well, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do the more powerful engines, which I am tempted to make a 5-cylinder out of, so an inline 5. But we'll have to see. I'm just going to take a look and see what sort of engines we can make out of this. Okay, so here we have it, our 5-cylinder engine, and I decided to go with 5 cylinders for this, and I think it worked out just fine. So we got a big 2.8 litre with 105 kilowatts of power, which is roughly around 150, 160, I want to say, maybe a bit less actually. But no, it's a decent engine. It's pretty much the same thing as the 4-cylinder, just bigger, with an extra cylinder obviously. Then we have the 2.5 litre version, and then we have the turbo equivalents of both. So what we're going to do is the same thing with the other engine. We're going to produce it. So we're going to make it also come in about 92 months, I want to say. So let's see if we can actually make it hit 92 months. No! Oh well. So this engine will come 0.1 of a month after the 4-cylinder. And honestly, this will do. This is a very nice engine, so this one will definitely be built in more premium cars, the more cars that need a bit more power. So now we're going to build the eco engines, the little tiny engines that really nobody wants to have but has to because they're cheap. So let's get to working on that. Okay, so here we have it. We have our 3 engines, which will be more sort of middle, like lower middle class. Like the 1.3 litre can almost be classed as a very small engine, but the 1.7 litre will be like top of the range for the small cars. So tempted to make a turbo out of the 1.7, but we'll leave it for now. We've got the 1.8 turbo, that'll probably just do. So in terms of the actual engine's performance, I mean, if we just have a look at the 1.7 litre, I think I got it to just under 60 kilowatts of power, which is, I want to say, around 85 horsepower. And yeah, no, it actually is a decent engine. It's got really good fuel efficiency. That's what I like about it, and it carries over to all other engines. I mean, the 1.3 liter, the fuel efficiency goes down a little teeny bit, but it's nothing drastic. So let's obviously make the engine more reliable. Now this engine can come at a quicker date because, well, we've got less engines and less tech we've put into these engines. So let's also try and focus on getting this in about 92 months. I mean, that's probably when we want to start thinking about using these engines in new models. So yeah, so that works. So the difference is with this engine, I actually used a cast iron block instead of an aluminium block. The head is still aluminium, but it's just to try and save some money. So now we're going to go and make one final engine, for the time being that is at least, which is our little tiny 3-cylinder for the really cheap cars. So yeah, let's get to doing that. Okay, so now we have our 3-cylinder engines, and I mean, I'll show you the big one. So I made a 1.2 liter and I made a 1 liter engine because we want to really make some small cheap engines that will just sell in huge numbers. So yeah, the big engine is producing 41.5 kilowatts of power. Now, as I'm sure you can tell, that's not a lot of power, but it gets even better when you look at the 1 liter engine. I mean, it is what it is. It's 36 kilowatts of power, and I mean, it's enough to get you moving, but it's not enough to get you moving to a speed where you'll be happy and you'll be laughing. It's just a miserable engine really, but there's not much you can do with engines this size. So I've only made 2 engines, so it'll be very easy to produce. So what we're going to do is obviously make it more reliable, and then we can do some learning on this engine, so we can learn about the engine, or about the tech that we're using in the engine, because we do need some engines to learn about the tech. And because most of the other engines at this time were mostly just, they're mostly just actual engines where you're doing a lot of hard work to get the engine done. You will need engines where you just learn about the tech that you're actually using in the engine. So yeah, we've got 4 new engines. I mean, we've got the V6 as well, and we're probably going to update that at some point, but we do have a V6 coming, and we do have 4 vehicles coming as well. So what we'll do, once these 3 vehicles are produced, we're going to facelift them, and yeah, I'll see you there. Uh-oh, we have a quality issue. Oh, please don't tell me it's bad. Very high difficulty to fix, but low discovery chance and the severity is small. So I mean, I would always do a full recall. I mean, it's always the best thing to do in these kinds of situations, but I think we're just going to do a quiet recall. So if anyone does come along and they do find and if they do come along and the problem is there, we'll just fix it. So I've never seen this before. Engine Factory 4 has an issue. Higher factory refresh costs. Now we're just going to pay cash. It's only 27 million, but apparently what the problem was that it just cost more money to refresh the factory. I'm not entirely sure, but we're about to have to get the second version of the Sposter on the market, which is fine, and we have another quality issue. Oh dear. This is not a fun issue, and I mean, only 18,000 cars were affected, but yeah, all right. Oh, for the Raz. Oh my god, I forgot that car still exists. I mean, I think we're just going to drop that car. I've completely forgot that car exists. I think it's just been losing us money this whole time, so let's stop production on this car. But to be fair, 18,000 have sold in the last few months, so we're going to pause production. Actually, can we just end production? Vehicle forecaster, what's it actually saying? So we're making money, losing money, ooh, making money again, and then losing some more money. But it's just, Okay, but yeah, I think we're just going to pause production, and we will replace this factory with another car in the future. So, oh, look at that, we've made and lost money again. Made money, lost. No, we're just making little bits of money. I mean, the factories are now coming into effect, so that's why we're losing a lot of money. And I'm sure you will have noticed, but my computer's really chugging now because there is so much happening. I mean, we've got 3 cars being released and loads of engines, and oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. 113 million. So it appears that we have made some nice cars here. So yeah, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to... The spotter needs to be replaced. I don't know whether I'll do that in this episode, but these 2 cars are definitely getting a facelift in this episode still. So what was it? These 2 cars are getting facelifted. So let's first do... Which one do we want to do? Let's do the small one. Let's do the middle class one first, because that will then determine what the lower class car is going to be like. So we're going to still keep the same engines because we still don't have the new engines, do we? So let's have a look back, because the new engine said it was releasing in 1991 or 92. No, first month of 93. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be using... Actually, could we squeeze in those engines? I mean, no, facelifts take too long to way too quick for the 4 years that we'd need to have a facelift with. So actually 4 years, that doesn't sound too bad. If we could somehow... I'm thinking, if we now make a facelift with these new engines, it would only be 1, 2, 3, 4.5 years until the new car releases. So, and that's roughly when you want a facelift. You want the car to sell for a few years, and then you want your new car to come once the old car has sort of gone out of favour. So, which way do we want to go about this? I think I'll see what we can do in terms of facelifting the car, but let's edit this. So we'll have this, and if we now go into the engine and have a look, we should... Let's have a look if we can actually put the new engine into the car. Okay, so we can actually put the engine into the car, and it pretty much improves literally everything apart from safety. So, but for some reason the engine's considered to be knocking, so I don't know why that is. The engine shouldn't be knocking, but we can't edit it now, so we'll just have to use it the way it is. If it is knocking, it's literally just the most minor bit of knocking possible. So let's see. So we want to put some safety stuff in this car. So we want to put ABS into this car. Advanced 90. We don't want to go with advanced safety just yet. We want standard safety, but because we don't have that yet, it's a bit difficult. So let's do that. I mean, do we have anything else apart from cassettes? We still need to use cassettes. So under tray, we'll leave it the way it is. Brakes, we'll probably come back to that if anything does change. Wheels, I mean, wheels are fine. And the gearbox is going to be something very important, because this will sort of determine the actual car, if it's actually going to sell. So let's have an overdrive gear. Let's make it 5 gears. I think we're ready to do 5 gears in the car now. So let's see here. Oh, it's a very long first gear, but it is what it is. So we'll do a top speed of 200, or limited to 200, and 0.8% what you call it, wheel spin is fine. Yeah, tweak the suspension a little bit is what tweaking the suspension is still what I need to do, and all in all the car actually looks alright. So I'll get to updating the car on the front. I mean, there isn't that much I want to do to update it. I just want to get it more in line with the 90s car, or the 90s styling, or the 90s trends, or however you want to call it. So I do really like the way this car looks. I probably would have bought this I mean, it's not got much character, but I do like this little bar at the top. It's just, I like it. Alright, anyway. Yes, I will now do the facelift. I'll see you guys after. Okay, so just doing the quick facelift on the vehicle. It's not supposed to be a major redesign of the car, it's just to bring the new engines into our lineup of cars, because I mean these engines are going to be very important for the company, and we want the best chance possible of getting this car to sell. So I'm also going to be making a different variant of the car, and yeah, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so here we have it, and honestly it's just a really minor facelift. I didn't really change all that much, only these little side vents on in the bumper, and the plastic strip and the fog lights are also new as well. And that's pretty much all I did in terms of the design of this vehicle. I mean, like I said, it's only going to be a minor facelift. The whole point of this facelift is for the new engine, so I want to focus on that a little bit more than the design of the vehicle. So in the end, it actually has a really nice competitiveness score, and it sort of hits the segments that I wanted to hit. I mean, the family could have been a little bit better, but it's very affordable in the family segment, and it's mainly due to comfort being really low. So I mean, I don't want to put premium interior in it. I mean, I could put premium cassette, but then it brings down everything else. So I'm not, I mean, I could just soften the springs a little bit, but it's already got a low carrying capacity, so it's a bit iffy. But I could also reduce anti-roll bars a little bit and make the springs a bit softer. I mean, I don't particularly want to do that much. I mean, it only can carry 300 liters now, so I mean the load, yeah, its load capacity is low. So I mean, it's still low now, but comfort of 21. I mean, the family demographic has really sprung up now. So yeah. So will they be happy if I bring it down like this? Nope. I mean, I should just tick the box here. I should just pin it so I can see what I'm doing, but I feel like that's alright. I mean, we want it to be about over 120 competitiveness. That's where I like to sort of put it. And I mean, I could just make the brakes a little bit bigger and make the brake pads a bit more squidgy. And yeah, all in all, I feel like this works pretty damn well. So yeah, no, with this vehicle, I'm going to now produce, this is the 17. We're going to have the, do we want to use the 70? Do we want to use the 1.7 or the 1.8? I feel like we should also make a 1.8 variant of this vehicle. So, but I also want to make an estate version of this vehicle, which means there's going to be so many of them that I hope my game can handle it. But screw it. I mean, we are going to be doing a major facelift in terms of engines and actual bodies. So let's go with existing engines. We'll go with the 1.8 liter naturally aspirated engine, and then we're also going to do a turbo variant, and then we're going to do an estate variant of both, and then we're going to do 1.7 and I think the 1.5 as well, and also have an estate variant of those cars. So in total that's 8 cars, I think. It's a lot of cars, but or a lot of different models. So yeah, so how's this looking? I mean, I don't particularly know if they like it or not. At the moment they do not, but I feel like that has to do with the actual engine, doesn't it? With the gearing, doesn't it? Yep. So let's do a slightly more overdrive gear and bring in the gear ratios a little bit. But the problem is it's still such a long first gear that, yeah. But let's pin this again and let's see what they particularly like. I mean, there isn't really all that much I can do, but what I'll do is I'll just go tweak through the settings a little bit more, as it turns out I can definitely improve on this, and I'll also make all the different variants of this car, so I'll see you guys once I have done that. Okay, so like I said, just adding different variants of the car. We just want different engine variants, and we also want the big estate variant, which actually came out pretty cool, I think. And yeah, now honestly I feel like this car is sort of getting a bit of a personality, a bit of a feel for itself, and I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. So hopefully it sells as good as we want it to, because in the end of the day this will be our not the most sold car, but our best offering for our best price offering for a good car, so to say. And honestly, yeah, no, it's turned out pretty nice. I'm really happy with it, so I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, that's all of the cars that I think I will be, well, all the different variants of this car that I think I will be producing. And it's pretty much 4 different variants in terms of engines, and then an estate variant for each, so I hope my computer can deal with this. If not, it'll be very sad, but I think we're going to have to expand our factory at this point, so we are going to need aluminium presses for the engine. Oh no, we don't need aluminium presses for the body, so I think we're just going to have to go with a large 3 factory at this point. 17,900 cars a month, which is huge. So, yeah. Let's see what's what. I mean, the game's already chugging, just trying to get this to work. 1.4 billion. I mean, we can afford this because we're making 100 million a month, but still, I kind of want to up the quality just a little bit though. 1.5 billion for a factory. That's hopefully that'll bring us enough cars. I mean, if the car sells, then we've hit the jackpot. Is all I'm saying. But yeah, the turbo variant doesn't really like being. Just doesn't like existing, to be honest, I've noticed. I mean, but this is because I'm trying to hit a demograph that is very difficult to reach when you've already got a platform for another demograph, so. Right, so we now need to put both of these engines into production, which means we're going to need 2 new factories, I believe, isn't it? So, oh wait, we can't actually put them into a factory yet, so. No, right. Oh my god, the chugging. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So this is the 1.8, this is the 1.8 turbo, then we've got the, I forgot to rename that one, hold on. This has got the 1.7 in it, doesn't it? Yep. Alright, there you go. So this is the 1.7, this is the 1.7 wagon, so let's just do 7,000. Let's do 8,000 for the 1.8 litre. This is just me thinking out loud at the moment, so then we'll do 7,200 for, oh my goodness, the lag. 8,200 for the large variant. I mean, trying to get the price right for this is going to be very difficult, but I think either way we should be making money. So then we'll do 8.8 thousand for the turbo. I mean, that's not going to sell at this point, but it's fun to have a turbo. Then we'll have 9,000 for the wagon. I think that's the wagon, right? That just changed. Yep, that's the wagon. And then, or the estate, and then we have the 1.7, which will be 7.5, and then the next one will be 200 more. Oh my goodness, it is just crazy. So the 1.7 is actually going to be making us the most money at this point. So then we've got the 1.5, which will be 7. Let's do 7, the 1.5, and then we'll do 7.2 for the estate variant of the. Oh, and all the numbers have gone crazy. So. What did I do wrong? So we're going to be making 3 billion in the first month, but then this is going to take a lot of work, like messing around with it, isn't it? So I'm going to do that off camera because this is going to take ages if I do it on camera, so I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so after a lot of messing around, and I mean a lot of messing around, I finally got to a point where I'd say, okay, this is alright. It isn't anything special, but this'll do, I think. So what we're going to do is we're now going to agree that this car exists, and we're going to see how much it costs. We can cover the costs ourselves because we're still making 100 million-ish on the side, and the main costs are actually the factories. So yeah, so let's not take out a loan for this, and yeah, let's do the same for the Veteretta now, and our little Tony car. So I'll see you guys once I've done that. Okay, so here we are, just quickly redesigning or facelifting our budget option of our company. And honestly, I feel like the car turned out awesome because, I mean, we've got 4 different engines now in this car. I've decided to do the same thing with the other car, which I think was a bit of a mistake, but we'll see. And I also made a coupe variant of each, and I feel like the coupe variant is absolutely awesome. I love the way the car looks, and honestly, this is just a cool car. I love it. It's an awesome car. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this car as much as I do. Maybe if you guys ever want me to, I'll give these cars a drive in BeamNG. So leave a comment leave a comment telling me if you'd like to see that. Okay, so I made the same mistake again. I made 8 different variants of the same car again, but I mean, we do want to sell a lot of cars, and variation is key to selling a lot of cars, and the only variation in this is the engine and 2 different bodies. So you guys know about the hatchback variant, which we made in the last episode, and yeah, it's a cool looking car. I do really like it. It's pretty much the same as the how do you even call it, the Giachuno or whatever it is. But yeah, no, I've decided that I'm also going to make a different variant because variants are awesome, and I'm going to make a sort of a coupe. I mean, it is pretty much the same thing, just with the back chopped off a little bit, but I mean, it looks cool. I like it. So I've put all the new engines and everything. I've tweaked it to a point where I'd say I'm happy with all the cars, and yeah, so let's go make the cars. So what we're going to do is the exact same thing as the other car. We're going to make a Parts 3 factory. So we'll be producing 23,000 cars. That's a 1.15 billion for a factory. So I think it's getting to a point where we might need to take out a loan, but it just depends on how long it takes to engineer the car. So I didn't even see how long it takes to engineer the last car. Oh no. And I signed off on it. We want this to be in a while, so... Oh no, I think we may have screwed ourselves over a little bit with the next car. Is there a way you can pause? Oh. Okay, so... Well, we're going to make this car really reliable. We're going to... How long did we have? 40 something months? To actually make the car, so that's not great. Alright, so we're in the 7th, I think 45 months, wasn't it? We'll do 45 months for now. I think we might need to go over simply for the fact that let's go back and let's have a look. I feel like this car is going to be made very soon. The Giachuno is coming way before the engine is. Woo! We screwed ourselves over a little bit. Okay, so we want to add another year onto the facelift on this, and I want to see if I can... Is there anything I can do to like pause the open forecaster? Is there anything I can realistically do? No, not this one, we want this one. We can edit something, but we can't say, okay, stop designing the car, because this car's going to release and then there'll be over a year where there's just not a single car being sold from this. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make 2 years of stock, if I can keep up, because we're still negative on stock here. So yeah, okay, so let's see. So we want to add another year to the Veteretta, because we also need to then make factories for these, and then we need to be happy about it, and just, you know, that sort of fun stuff. So let's have a look. So the Veteretta, we're going to go into here, we're going into... I like the green numbers, but yeah, this is already way too cheap, but that's not the point. So let's have a look. So we want to add another year. So what, about 55 months? If we can get near it. I mean, some cars are going to be selling absolutely crazy well, and some cars just won't sell at all. So, I mean, we'll have to see. So we'll optimize a bit, 55.2 months, that's perfectly fine. And yeah, so let's have a look. So we want, what do we want? We want, for the 1.5, we'll sell it for 5.8. You know what, I'm going to do this off camera because judging from last time, it's going to take an absolute age until I've got this done. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so I think I'm at a point where I'm reasonably happy with profits. I mean, with this many cars, I don't really tend to sell this many cars of the same car, so to say. So it's been a bit more difficult trying to get it all to price well enough so all of them will sell, but they all seem to be selling at a sort of the same rate, which I'm quite happy with. We're making nice profit on it, and yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to put the vehicle up for sale now. Let's have a look how long it'll take to actually produce the car, because we still need to make the large engine factories, so yeah. I mean, we've got this engine factory. We'll have a look at engine factories in a sec, but oh no, that's the wrong one. We'll put the car up for sale. We'll put it up for sale now. So, well, not put it up for sale, but we'll put it into design. And do we want to take out a loan? Is it really necessary? I mean, how much are we making in the next 4 years? I think we should be okay, because the price is mainly just factory costs. So we'll leave it without a loan. If it messes up, well then, I'm sorry. Then I've messed up. But we messed up a little bit with this car. We need to, because the thing is, these engines take so long that, I mean, they're released in 1990, well, for 1993, and then we need to also make engine factories. So let's have a look here. I'm going to go engine factories. So we only have 2 large engine factories. This one's with a medium, so this one will take up new engines. So we've got 1 engine factory, we've got this engine factory. This engine I don't think is being produced anymore, so there's no point. Wait, what? Oh no, what do you call it? The premium car, the Regale, is using this engine, isn't it? Yep, the 3-litre. I don't know why I made it. It doesn't make sense at this point, because I've now got the 5-cylinder, but it is what it is. And yeah, so we're gonna have to make a new factory. We're going to have to configure it, and we're going to do it for this, the 1.3. This is the 1.3 cheap one. This is the cheap one. This is the expensive one, and it doesn't really matter which one we take. I think we're just going to take the turbo variant for this one, and we're going to go where we live. We're going to go with Fruinia. We're going to go with a huge factory, I think. Or does it make sense? So let's go with a large. I think we do need to go with. We'll go with a huge plot, and then if it does 34,000 engines. Wow, look at the size of that! Okay, so we'll do a large 3 for the time being. The problem is a lot of cars are using this engine, so we might actually have to do with a huge one. So we have to do an aluminium foundry on it, and I think we're going to leave it like that, because otherwise it'll get way too expensive. It's already 1 billion, and I didn't take any loans out. Oh no! Right, we'll have to see what our finances look like later on. Oh dear. Oh no. Money is a problem. Money is a big problem now, so yeah, we're going to leave it for now. No, we do not want to sign off in this factory. We don't need it just yet. I mean, we'll have to wait until this vehicle really. This vehicle only uses. Wait, it doesn't tell me all the different models of it. Hold on. Did I make? Yeah, I made. Yeah. So I made with the large engine and the smaller engine. I put into this variant of the vehicle. So yeah, you know what? This is a problem for another time. I'm going to end the episode there. Hopefully, we can figure out a way to get these engines into production for these cars. and well, in time, so we still make a profit. And yeah, I think that'll be it for today. So thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure making this episode, if a bit challenging, and I hope you guys have a lovely day, and goodbye.